Namaste viewers, welcome to Degula channel. Today we will see the story of, we will continue the story of Kartavirya Arjuna. In the previous episode we saw how the Sudarshana Chakra was cursed and then he was born as a mortal king on this earth and he ruled through Maheshmati city. We'll continue that story. So this Kartavirya Arjuna, he was a very powerful king. It seems he had around 1,000 arms, which was given as a boon, which was blessed by Dattatreya, God Dattatreya. And one day he went to Narmada River to take bath with his wives. There's normally, it is called as Jala Krida. Jala means water. Krida means sports, water sports. They went there. And they were happily bathing there and then they were just enjoying the water sports. At the same time, Ravana, the mighty king of Lanka, he also arrived there at the river. He had gone and then he was coming on the way and then he went there. And along with all his ministers, along with all his paraphernalia, it was time to do some puja, do some sandhya vandanam. After taking bath in the river, Narmada River, Ravana sat down to pray to Lord Shiva. Usually it will take about 1 hour to 2 hours. Like this, he started praying. Here, Kartavirya Arjuna was enjoying the water sports in the river, and one of his wives very playfully challenged him to show his strength by stopping the flow of the Narmada River itself. She said, "Stop it. Let's see what strength you have." Kartavirya Arjuna accepted the challenge. He went, sat in the middle of the river, and raised he grew up so large, and then raised all his arms, all his 1,000 arms. And this slowly blocked the river's flow. Of course, he impressed upon his wife, he impressed his queen as the water stopped moving beyond him. All those things were all things that did happen. But however, some unexpected problems also came up. When the river's flow was blocked, the water level on the other side began to rise. It started flooding the land. Lanka Ravana, who was on that side of the river, the other side of the river, noticed the rising water and realized that something unusual was happening. After he found out that he discovered that Kartikeya Arjuna was behind it and then he was blocking the water flow and all those kinds of mischief, Angered by this, Ravana challenged Kartavirya Arjuna to a fight. He said, "Oh, I will see that I will fight out and then teach you a lesson." Of course, a very fierce battle took place between the two powerful kings. Despite Ravana's strength, Kartavirya Arjuna was very powerful, and he eventually knocked down Ravana, captured him, and then brought him to his palace Some accounts say that he was tied to a small cradle, and then where uh, the children would play with this kind of with him. Now, sage Paulastya, who was Ravana's grandfather, he came to know about this incident, and then he went to Kartavirya, negotiated with him for the release of Ravana. He said, "Oh, he has done a mistake. Okay, like, please leave him." When Paulastya requested Kartavirya to release him, Kartavirya agreed, and then uh, he respected the sage's wishes and set Ravana free. So this is one incident, which happened. Now, Kartavirya Arjuna's end was quite like a tragic thing. As time passed, Kartavirya Arjuna, he became very proud and arrogant because of his immense power, because of his great strength, because of the boons he had got, immense power. One day he decided to test his strength further by troubling Lord Varuna, the god of oceans. The Kartavirya Arjuna asked Varuna if there was anyone who could match his power like this. He was just boasting himself of that. Varuna replied that there is one person who could deal with you, who could rival you, was Parashurama, the son of sage Jamadagni. So those days, it was always, when somebody is very powerful, you go and then just try to test your power, try to fight with others. This kind of sports, this becomes a sports for him. Fighting becomes a sportive, like sports it becomes. So now this fellow Kartavirya, curious and eager to prove his might, he was very eager. Oh, I am very powerful, he thinks, and then he went to meet Parashurama at the ashram of Jamadagni. He goes to because he was told by Varuna that one Mr. Parashurama is there who is very strong and they can go and fight her with him, all those kinds of things. So he goes to Jamadagni, himself goes to Jamadagni, this ashrama where Parashurama would be living. He goes there with his entire army, and when he reached the ashram, as usual, sage Jamadagni, he warmly welcomed him, and then whatever that was to be done to a guest, he did all those things to him. He fed the entire army, all beautiful, sumptuous meal and all those things. So this Kartavirya Arjuna was astonished how this Jamadagni, this sage, is able to feed such a good, sumptuous meal here in this ashram without. That was, he found out that it was with the help of a divine cow called Kamadenu. Kamadenu, whatever you ask, it would give. So Kartavirya thought that he could take away this cow. His eyes, fell on this Kamadenu. And then he asked Jamadagni to give that cow to him, that Kamadenu for him. Kamadenu is a cow which would give any whatever wishes you want, whatever you wish it would give. So Jamadagni said, no, no, this is the cow for my use. If somebody comes to the ashram, I have to feed them, I have to do all those kinds of things. Therefore, I will not be able to give you. So, words, went on, and then this fellow was insisting, Kartavirya Arjuna was insisting, and Jamadagni was also furious. He also did not yield. Immediately, Kartavirya Arjuna started fighting with Jamadagni, and then he killed him. He killed him and then abducted the holy cow. He took away this cow to his um, palace. Of course, there is another story that it didn't reach his palace. It just fled away from there. Anyway, that's a different story. Now, Parshurama he had gone out for some kind of work, and then when Parshurama, the son of Jamadagni, comes back, returned to the ashram, he learned that his father was killed by this Kartavirya Arjuna for the sake of this cow. He was very furious, very, very furious, and using a battle axe, parachute. This was given by none other than Lord Shiva. Parshurama confronted Kartavirya Arjuna, and in a very fierce battle, Parshurama chopped off Kartavirya Arjuna's all the 1,000 arms and ultimately killed him, avenging his father's death. And once the great king Kartavirya Arjuna met his end. So it reminds everybody that arrogance and greed can lead even the strongest of a person to a downfall, a disastrous end. It can it can lead to a disastrous end. So, viewers, this is the story of Kartavirya Arjuna, uh, the end of Kartavirya Arjuna, how he was killed by Parshurama because of the uh, death of his father, because he was killed, the murder of his father, Jamadagni, by Kartavirya Arjuna. Thank you for listening to this short story. We request you to please like, share, and then comment on the video. Thank you.